My name is Don Smith. That's Don with two N's. That's Don. Well, I've been on a long journey, and a lot of times I didn't know what that journey entailed. It's been 42 years in the making, and I've gone from the bottom all the way to the top as far as clients. Work with the biggest companies, the biggest CEOs in Canada and the world, athletes. And you know, there was I had a major contract for 8 years. Took a company from 7 billion to 68 billion, 68 billion, and saw gigantic results, absolutely gigantic results. Saved a guy $615 million in 6 minutes. Took Jerome McGinley. He had 2 goals a third of the way into the hockey season, and he won the Maurice Richard Trophy with 41 goals that year. Edmonton Oilers were 5 points behind Calgary with only 11 games left. It was almost an impossible task. And I went in and they went 7-0-3 and get into the playoffs with 2 games left. So whether I was on the PGA or in the NHL or the NBA or the NFL or wherever, or the CEOs, and then it was kids, like crazy amazing things, like a kid with Rubinstein-Tabby syndrome. I never even heard of it before, never even heard the words together, and he could only say he had an attention span of 5 seconds and could only say 3 words at a time. Within 10 days of working with his parents alone, he was able to say the alphabet and sat for 2 hours and 20 minutes as I worked with his mom and dad in their living rooms. You know, out of the 7 people that have had cancer that took my process, that did what I wanted, 6 of them, 5 have no cancer and 1 is almost finished the cancer. So 6 out of 7. So like there's no boundaries, there's no, like it's got nothing to do with symptoms. What it is the how of it is like these are symptoms and they create problems. Now those symptoms are created by external identities such as I'm not good enough, I'm not loved, I'm not worthy, I'm bad, I deserve to be punished, on and on and on. I could spend an hour on what those are. But they're all symptoms of an externally referenced identity or identities. Identities. And none of them are who we truly are. And I have spent a lot of that time, 5 years out of the 42, I spent just on reverse engineering phobias and near-death experiences to find out how a person can, in an instant, create all of these toxic programs in one instant. And then I just kept reversing and how's that work, and I figured out how to reverse it in the same way. So I can actually reverse a person's whole program. It takes 2 hours to get all of the pieces of the puzzle, and a second, the same speed it took to create it, to remove it. And the only thing that slows it down is a person's attachment to an old identity. And if they're willing to let them go, you know, we're talking 2 hours. We're talking about 2 hours, and your whole life is not going to be changed. It's going to be transformed. We're talking about transforming from beliefs of who you think you are to the knowing of who you truly are. That's what it is. And my gift is being able to take a 1,000-piece puzzle that you're going to give me and find that one piece in the puzzle that has activated it all. Activated it all, and I'm able to reverse that. Find it and reverse it instantly if the person's open, honest, and willing. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And so it's incredibly exciting to know there's a global vision, there's a world vision, humanity vision, I should say, that I've been after now for a long time, especially in 1995 when I read Dr. Hawkins' book, Power versus Force. And he talks about levels of consciousness. That, you know, that on average, a person, humanity's at 210. It was at 204 when he wrote that book. It's now at 210. On average, a person raises their consciousness by 5 points in a lifetime. Then he wrote another book called Eye of the Eye. And here he is, he's telling about humanity needs to raise its consciousness to 700. And the only way to do that is to have a minimum of 114 people raise their consciousness to 700 or above. Well, that's my mission. That's my mission, is to find 114 people and say, I'm in. I'm in. I'm going to do. Don, just tell me what I have to do to get the results you're talking about. I'm in. And I'm looking for 114 of those superheroes. And once that happens, all of the chaos and all the drama and all of the whatever on the planet is no different than the guy with the 16 pages of symptoms, and within 2.5 hours, they were all gone and none of them meant anything. You see, in that 16 pages, I took that on the first page, in the first paragraph, in the first sentence, in the first line, was what everything was tied to. And I went for that, blew it out, and it was all gone. Now that's what's going to happen on the planet. I'm doing that on a global scale by doing this with 114. And so those that are courageous enough to walk away from everything that's toxic, the comfortable, the shitty diaper comfort, and go into that unknown and unfamiliar and uncertainty, and take that ride with us. Because I know how to do this. And you can be one of those 114 that is instrumental in raising humanity's consciousness to 700. And even though Dr. Hawkins says it's 5 points in a lifetime, I'm talking about 210 to 700 in 2 hours. There's a gigantically sparse difference in those two numbers. And that's what I figured out. And I figured out how to implement that on the planet as we speak. And I'm talking about before the end of December 31st, 2021. Come on with us. Come with Jamie and I. Get on this ride. Yes, it's a roller coaster when you are not willing to shed everything. That's when it becomes a roller coaster. But after that, it's like a race car. It's like zoom, and that's what we're doing on a daily basis. So come join us. Look forward to it. We're in Mexico right now. We don't know what country we'll be in next. It doesn't matter. Okay? Because I tell you where I'm going. I'm going to get 114 people to say yes to me, to that 700. That's where I'm going. And we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate that 700. And all of the chaos and all of the drama will leave like it has on other people. And so many have said after we're finished, they said, oh my God, if that wasn't my own handwriting, I would never believe I ever thought that way. In 2 hours. In 2 hours. Imagine. 16 pages of programs and patterns gone. Boom. Yes. You're next. I'm Don. Catch me at Don. transformwithdon.com, Don with 2 N's. That's how you're going to do this. Bye for now.